Welcome, everybody, to this week's Distressed Property Call. This podcast and broadcast is brought to you by HomeLoanAdvocates. That's right, my partner David Bartel at HomeLoanAdvocate. They specialized in distressed property solutions for buyers, sellers, investors, and realtors across the country. Doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter the situation you're in. If you're working on a distressed property and you need some assistance, call 805-413-8000. Again, that number is 805-413-8000. Ask for David Bartels or visit HomeLoanAdvocates.com. Or if you'd like, send David an email at david@HomeLoanAdvocates.com. This episode is also brought to you by Monster Marketing. That's right. That's the reason this call started and why we do it each and every week. Monster Marketing. It is a direct marketing method that I created to get face-to-face with people that have missed payments. It's literally 3% of the market, some more in other areas, but Monster Marketing guarantees face-to-face results with these people. We will give you proven step-by-step coaching, training, and mentoring so that you can convert those individuals into listings or deals, depending on being a realtor or investor. If you would like to find out more, go visit HomeLoanAdvocates.com. That's HONISH.com.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to your weekly call. My name is LeeHonish. This is the Monster Marketing Group and also Advocate Marketing and all things distressed. I am joined, as always, by the foremost leading authority on the mitigation and processing. Wow, good word. Mitigation and processing of short sales anywhere in the United States. David Bartels. How are you, David?
Good morning. I'm doing just fine, and that's seems too aspirational of a description of an introduction.
All right. Do you want me to really clarify it? Okay. Since there are very few people who do it and even less who do it correctly, how do I not? Can we all vote by a show of hands? How many vote David in the coaching group, right? This is how it works. Everybody just raise your hand. How many think David is the best mitigator of short sales in the world, right? Okay, I got 2 yeses, David. So guess what? You are officially voted the top mitigator in the United States.
But thank you.
By a room of his peers.
I'd like to thank my parents,
Oh, you guys so don't know how marketing works. Bless you all. And again, sorry for the intermittent, that was a tougher one. The intermittent podcasts over the last couple of weeks. David was gone. I was gone. They're a little screwy. I got a couple in the bank. They'll be great over the holidays. I will do a call next week. I cannot speak personally for David. I think we should all get together on Christmas Eve and do a call.
I'm going to be in Costa Rica.
Good for you. I'll be doing a call. I'll do something. So for those of you that are regular coaching students and you want to show up next Wednesday, I'm going to do the call. Is next Wednesday Christmas? Does that actually fall right on Christmas? Hold on, I got to check this because, yeah, that's going to be a little out.
7 days from today is Christmas.
Yeah. Okay. I lied. There's no way. Well, I'm working. I actually
First
agreed
of all,
to watch.
nobody's going to show up, Lee. Just let it go. Let it go.
All right, I'm going to let it go. There's no call next week. And the week after is January 1st. So we are back. This is our last call of the year, David. Jesus. We're not back till January 8th. We're off for 2 weeks. Nobody's going to show up on New Year's Day. Or do we do a New Year's Day?
Don't do it New Year's Day.
All right, January 8th. Coaching calls are suspended till January 8th. Everybody got it? I've got a couple in the bank for those of you that are on the podcast. I've got David's call. I'm still a week behind on another call, and I have another call that I've never posted. So for those of you that are regular listeners of the podcast, or those of you that are coaching students that get these updates, you're going to get something in the mail that'll keep you up to date that you can work with for the next couple of weeks. So no call on the 25th and no call on the 1st. We do have a couple of new students, David. So would you please explain who you are and Home Loan Advocates?
Well, David Bartels and Home Loan Advocates, what we do is we do short sale negotiations, foreclosure, postponement, all things distressed property in general. But most people engage with us because we're helping them negotiate a short sale. And what's cool about what we did is we figured out how to get the most impossible transactions approved. And we also get the easy ones approved. So we don't just take hard ones. But the point of the matter is that we take care of all that heavy lifting. We get the banks to pay our fee almost all the time, 72% of the time. So it doesn't cost anything to have us do it. So that keeps you free, even if you know how to do short sale negotiations, to go out and do what you ought to really be doing, and that's focus on generating new income opportunities for you and your family. And if you wanted to have a conversation about that, my number is 805-413-8000. 805-413-8000. Of course, you can email me, David at HomeLoanAdvocates.com. Advocates is plural.
There you go. Welcome. If this is your first time, or you found us, or your long time, whatever you are, we have a very large coaching group. Both David and I, we are I will say this about us that I'm sure I could put to a vote, but we're the experts on distressed properties. It's us. We've been doing it the longest. We're doing it the best. We do it with guaranteed results. So if you want to learn about monster marketing or being a part of this group and really changing your 2020, go to HomeLoanAdvocates.com, or hey, give me a call. This is new. I'm going to try it just like you, David. Send me a text, 858-663-2537. I'll have a free one-on-one with you. I'll talk about your marketing. I'll help you out. I'm the marketer. He's the mitigator. He's also one hell of a coach and a good guy. So.
You've got awful feedback there. It's better now.
Is it? All right.
Yep.
So there you guys go.
I don't think anybody heard your contact information, though.
Well, I will do it again. For those of you first time, long time, whatever it is, my name's LeeHonish. I do marketing. I have been doing it literally since 2007. And I'm pretty sure I could get the room to vote that I'm the best marketer in America. I'm pretty sure. All I need is 2 yeses for the vote to work. But if you'd like a free 1-hour conversation with me and to learn how to dynamically change your 2020, good word. Like I'm a professional marketer, David. Just text me or give me a call, 858-663-2537, or said it too fast, or visit honish.com. Enough of the business. And by the way, for all the coaching students, why wouldn't you guys take me up on a free hour, right? And find out what's going on with your business or not. I'm not looking for anything. I'm just trying to figure it all out for you guys for next year, because let's start right there, David. The Fed can no longer, I lost a bet to my friend, Robert Fregoso. By the way, shout out to Robert Fregoso. I lost a bet. I did an event at a Phoebe this year, where I sat on a panel with Christina Suter and Robert Fregoso, and I said, there is no possible way the Fed can drop the rate any further. To which Robert responded, he goes, not only are they going to drop it, they're going to drop it again, and then drop it again, and then maintain this low drop because it's working for the market. And I said, Robert, you're out of your mind. And Christina Suter, a very good investor, a very prominent figure in the Pasadena scene, looked at me and she goes, you're right, Lee. And while we sat in front of this room, I go, Robert, I'm so sure of it. I'm talking steak dinners, fight night, the whole bit, like in front of the room. I said, there's no way I can back out of this. And he goes, you're going to lose. I said, Robert, you're crazy. Well, here we are at the end of the year. I've already picked out the fight for next year. And he's going to want to go to Mastro's because that's Robert. And I'm going to wind up spending $500 on steak and lobster and whatever else Robert wants. Can the Fed keep going, David?
Well, they have announced that they're not going to keep going. I mean, they could, but they're saying they're not going to raise or lower rates all the way through next year.
All right, let's be realistic. I'm watching a DOJ live and I'm watching all the stuff that's going on, right? If Trump is any further along in the impeachment process, does he do something crazy that can affect the real estate market?
Listen, crazy is entirely possible when you're talking about Trump. All right. So I don't know. Who knows what he's going to do? I mean, I'm not saying that in a derogatory or I'm not
correct.
Pro or against.
Okay, let's go something simple.
I'm just saying I mean, he's unpredictable. That's all I'm saying. But the reality is that it's probably balanced by an election year. So, I think that things are probably going to settle down that the party is really going to try to keep him inside some range of reasonable through the election.
Yeah, I completely hear you. And Barbara's asking, are you talking to all the students or new? I'm talking to all the students, Barbara. If you want to call me or David, call us. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure these go through. Diana Russell, no, my thought is real estate will continue to march along. Thank you, Diana. I don't know. He's so unpredictable, and he's a real estate guy. Like, here is the craziest thing I could see him doing. Executive order repealing Dodd-Frank. And somebody said, wouldn't somebody stop him? I said, if you gave 3 months of no Dodd-Frank back to the crazy universe of lenders, I said it would look like anarchy for 5 minutes. I mean, so we just had FHA, which is by far the highest defaulting loan right now that we have product-wise. They just raised the limit on FHA. Again, right? They're trying to make FHA a very viable thing. Now, the one thing I could say about FHA, because I've been studying it, good for them, right? They got the money in place. There's really money there to back them at least 50%, which by far compared to most lenders is a much higher standard. For those of you who don't know, let's discuss this, right? So basically banks make loans on money without technically having the money, right? FHA
Right.
did something when they came back. They said, no, we're actually going to back our money. We're going to actually back the insurance because we know there's a default rate. And now FHA wants to be a much bigger player going into 2020, and they've raised their rates. You're in Southern California. Is FHA impacting your area?
FHA limits are going up, so but not substantially. FHA is not a big impact in our. I mean, we do some here and there, but not too many.
Okay, just wondering out loud. For those of you who don't know, David also is a very accomplished broker in the Conejo Valley. He is the top broker in the Conejo Valley. Do you want me to put that to a vote? I'll agree.
Well, we're the top team in Ventura County.
There you go. Simple as that. What's the loan limit right now on FHA, Donald? I don't know, because literally I'm in California and it's never going to impact me. I don't know of anything in San Diego, Orange County, or LA County that you'd want to live in that's under $1 million right now. Like, it's gotten so out of control that I don't even know what to do about it. All right, Barbara DeMarco. I'm interested in knowing how the cash buyer program is working for you with doing the labels. Okay, we'll discuss it 2 different ways for you, Barbara. It's a good question. For me personally, I work in a team concept. I have a business partner. I do not have a real estate license. Many people know that. It's been a big debate lately whether or not I should have one. And I can see, don't take it the wrong way, because you guys are all real estate agents. Don't take this the wrong way. My partner has a license. I do not need a license. I just don't. It hinders me from writing on contracts. I am monster tagging. I will be redoing it again starting January 8th after the 2-week holiday. But the reality is, for me personally, as an investor, I just do what David tells us to do. I mean, I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I have a steady lead of buyer leads coming in off of Facebook. I do. They're very good. I am now experimenting right now with trying to convert the monster into canceleds and expireds with scripts. But the reality is, when I go to the door, I'm still an advocate. At the end of the day, there's no difference in what I do. And when they go, what's your interest in this? If you need to sell, I'm interested in buying. That's it. It's not even a big conversation. What I talked about 2 weeks ago with this coaching group, I'll talk again with David, but David and I have discussed this literally all year. I'm not doing anything special. I'm not. I'm trying to connect and engage. And I will say this gratefully, because of what's been going on with me for the last couple of months. My engagement based on my emotional state has gotten better, right? I've hired someone to help me, which I recommend for everyone. I think you should. I think it's good to have someone to talk to. So my engagement rate is better with people. In fact, last night I was out karaokeing, David, and met a young lady who didn't know about her future. And I said, why not real estate? And she gave me, no, literally, like just a typical coach move, right? I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, I don't even get it. If I was your age, I would already be into real estate and I'd be going this direction. And she goes, this isn't a pickup line. I said, no, it's not a pickup line. Right? You're way too young. I think you're closer to my daughter's age, for God's sakes. And she literally wrote down her information and gave me her phone number. And she goes, are you serious? I said, of course I'm serious. It's what I do for a living. Why wouldn't I try to create another person to go and be amazing? She goes, you really feel that way about your coaching student? I said, all of them, including Donald Ross, who's on the phone. You guys are all amazing for who you are. Like, you all have your own little thing, right? Once you find your niche. So I've been going with my partner to outdoor markets and just working on engagement. So to answer your question for me, Barbara, before I give it to David, for me lately, I'm telling you, I wound up becoming the marketing company for a glass wax company just because I walked up and started to engage the guy. I think we're so consumed with how the script works. What's the marketing piece? What's the gimmick? Look at all the shiny stuff I created. I have a new presentation called Unstuck. Like, I'm happy to go and do it. I've actually been working with my own personal doctor who has 5 degrees and literally is probably one of the foremost leading experts on relationships. And his answer to me every day is, just go out and meet people. You'll find business. Just get up from behind the desk, go walk to the pier. You will meet people. Just engage them. Be genuine. So to go back to Donald's question from 2 weeks ago, is it a script? It's not a script. It's not. You can ask my business partner. She's on the line. She's actually on the call. She'll tell you it's not. I want to know about people. And the minute you want to know about people, they want to know about you. And the minute they want to know about you, David, when do you drop, I do real estate?
Well, I drop it, usually say, hey, I'm David, I'm in real estate.
Right? So to answer Barbara's question, because you're an investor as well, David, is there any shift from being David Bartels, the advocate, the guy who cares, who wants to know, who wants to engage? I'm going to reiterate that for next year. So if it's already a little too much for you guys, get used to it. We've talked about this, right? The going to the flag thing for my daughter, standing in line for a hot dog. Hey, David, what do you do for a living, right? Does it change
Exactly.
the 99% free model? Does it ever change? Like, being an investor, being an agent, being anything, you do real estate.
For sure. So, I mean, that is the whole, that's the whole, we actually talked about this last week while you were AWOL, and that is don't be a secret agent.
Right.
Probably the number one most effective thing you can do from a marketing perspective is not to be a secret agent. Everybody needs to know that you are in the real estate business.
Yep.
And when, and eventually when that happens, eventually the conversation will come to, well, how's the market? And my response is, well, it depends. Are you a buyer or are you a seller? Okay, because that's an easy way for me to respond and figure out what side of the fence they're looking at, because my answer is going to be different if they're a buyer versus if they're a seller, number one. And it's a way for me to engagement. And they may say I'm not either. Okay, and and then say, are you a homeowner? And then they'll say yes. I said, then you want to know how it is from a seller perspective. And then but in that exchange, I know that they're a homeowner. Now I know them. I'm gonna have a conversation, and at some point I'm gonna ask, do you ever, are you paying attention to market because you're thinking about, selling, one day soon, and I just have a conversation with them. It's casual, but it's a conversation.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Barbara, I don't do anything different. Like, I literally go to the door just looking for the deal. It doesn't matter if I'm on the street or slapping monster tags and walking the walk. So to bring it back around, right? You have a really good marketing method with Monster Marketing, right? You guys actually have multiple scripts, multiple data types. All the stuff is located on the main coaching page. I probably still need to update it a little bit. I think there are names on it that don't need to be on it anymore. But the reality is nothing has changed in 9 years. Put a tag up, wait for the call center to do the heavy lifting. I show up at the front door. What's your, literally my entire conversation with distressed people, because I just know how crazy they're going to be, right? And it still to this day bothers me to no end that they believe they're going to get to keep their house, right? Win the lottery, find the four-leaf clover, find the Honus Wagner card in the garage to save their home. But the reality at the end of the day is, if I meet 4 people in the course of a week that are in distress, 2 of them are really going to lose their home. That's just the math. We're still foreclosing. I know everybody wants to say they're up, they're down, the numbers are different, they're this, they're that. They've been very constant for a long time. And for all of you to have a constant drip line, me as a marketing professional, I've said this a million times and I'll keep saying it. You need 3 forms of constant marketing if you want to be successful in 2020. And David will be the first one to pray an amen to this. Number 1 is your referral source and your list, right? So for those of you that get leads with me through Facebook and you think, well, they're crap leads, Lee, they're renters and buyers and they're all difficult. You're creating a list. Like you're literally creating a list of real people who want houses, right? I don't care where you get them from. David will tell you this. If you guys want really good advice, go visit Help You Sell or Home Loan Advocates on Facebook. Click on one of David's properties, fill out the information, and watch what happens to your email and see what really good follow-up looks like. I cannot glow enough about, even today I got one. It was just a follow-up. It was like a random, hey, we got a new listing. And I thought, God bless David. Like he got the right system in place, right? So for all of you, I would highly recommend that. I'm giving you free marketing advice. I mean, just go visit David, go click on a listing, fill out the form, and watch what happens to your email. And David, are there results to cultivating your referral list and your new client list? Period. No matter where they come from.
I had this conversation with somebody. When I think about all the assets that we have in our business, the number 1 asset by far is the database.
Yeah.
So if you say, okay, you can't be in this business anymore, you can take one thing with you and we never want to see you again, I would take the database.
I would too. By the way, I take all of you guys that are on the call and in the coaching group. Like, I don't need the 1.5 million database of all the real estate agents. I need my fans, my followers. And if you guys don't have your fans and followers, and I'm going to say this because I know there are a few of you on this call. For those of you that are actually getting leads with me through Facebook and you think, well, they're just crappy people. I said, no, they're not. They're real people looking for real houses. At some point, they're going to be real buyers. They're going to be people who need help. And I just know this because I've been coaching now long enough. The number 1 angst I have is literally no database. Where's your spreadsheet? What do you mean spreadsheet? You should have a spreadsheet. What do you mean spreadsheet? At the very least, you should have a spreadsheet of everybody you've ever worked with. Forget new clients, just a spreadsheet. The second thing, because you guys are all distressed people, right? You work either with advocate marketing or monster marketing. So I'll say this out loud. Why aren't you guys tagging? Well, Lee, those leads are tough and they're not going to convert really quickly. Who cares? They're going to. They're going to call you at the last minute. Everything that we've talked about will happen, right? If I call it shiny bauble syndrome, David, and it's kind of bothering me.
Let's talk reality, okay?
Yeah, right. Please do.
Listen, I run all kinds of marketing funnels. The reason that my database is the most valuable asset that I have now is that almost none of them convert immediately. That's lottery stuff, okay? I mean, a seller lead that comes in, these guys are often 6 to 9 months from doing a transaction, and buyer leads are 9 to 12 months from doing a transaction, and they're all in some stage of later when they get. Very rarely do they come in on a rocket, okay? But when they do, it's usually because I had a relationship with one of those other people that were 6 to 12 months from doing a transaction. So what's it take? 3 months So when I think about it takes 3 months to convert a distressed property, sometimes it's a year, sometimes it's a week. The same is true with listing leads and buyer leads. There is no listen. If there was a magic formula that would allow you to go out there and do it, everybody would be doing that. It's
No kidding.
no, it's there is no secret formula there. You just gotta pick a path to walk down. The reality is just pick something. The reason I like the stress so much, and I do other things, okay, but the reason I like the stress so much is because nobody else does. And when I get in there, okay, I know that, and I'm going to build a relationship with them. And if they end up selling their house, they're going to sell that house with me. There's no question about it. They're going to sell that house with me. And I feel this, and I go on listing presentation. I went on a listing presentation the other day. I thought they were ready to go. They're not looking to do anything until March. Okay. Well, so what do? Do I pack up my stuff? And I said, listen, I really wish I'd have known that, because I've got 3 other people I need to be talking to right now that are probably going to do. No, I sit there, they get the best I have, and then I start my follow up with them, and I continue to strengthen and build my relationship, and I go get that deal at in February sometime. Right. The way I look at it, I'm going to need the deal in March too. All right, so the whole idea of building a pipeline is that means some of that pipeline matures this month and some of it matures in 2 years. But every month you have new business that's maturing. And the only way to build the pipeline is by start building a pipeline today and keep adding to it and adding to it and adding to it. And eventually you get to a place where you have a steady stream of transactions every single month. But if you start and stop and start and stop and sometimes follow up and sometimes don't, then what you think is a pipeline is just a whole bunch of names that used to know you. So you've got to whatever you're going to do, you've got to do it consistently, and you've got to do it with the understanding that it's not immediate payoff. And the reason I don't do distress full time is because first of all, there's not enough business for me to do it full time, and I've got a big appetite. So I do all these other things, I have 13,000 people in my database. Ask me what my pipeline is, and I'll say 13,000. I got 13,000 people in my pipeline. Now, I only have 11 of them in escrow right now, okay? But it's December, okay? It's December. You know how many people that aren't in escrow that we've been talking to that are saying that they're gonna be active after the first of the year? If we can do 11 in December, we're going to be doing 20 or 30 in May or June. But that's what pipelines are about. That's what momentum is all about. People say, what's the secret to your success? And that is, I never take my foot off the gas. We never stop marketing. We never stop following up. We never stop giving our very best to everybody we engage with. And if you did that too, no matter how you did it or what lead source you were doing, you would develop a pipeline too that would start to pay off for you every single month. It's residual income.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
It's an actual thing, right? So I just had a couple of signups on the Monster recently, and they're like, well, what do you really think? I said, I think you're going to win the lottery. Normally it happens to everybody. They go out, they do the Monster for a month or two, and literally you get something immediately. I said, but it's a long game. Like, we're playing a real funnel, right? I'm telling you guys, this is not for my ego. I have studied marketing like a madman for the last 9 years, trying to find all the hacks, right? I can't find anything better than Monster marketing. I cannot. I literally invented something with a process. I refined it with good friends, right? And throughout the years to improve it. And all of your input as well. But the reality is, I cannot find a direct marketing method better than Monster marketing. I've tried. David knows this. I go to trade shows. I try. I literally look at everything. I engage people. I listen to their BS. I want to find something that, well, I'll be honest, because I'm a marketer, that I could steal and recreate. I cannot. I have yet to ever find anything better than putting those tags up, making a list. The only things I found better, which is my third topic, and David's going to give me a big amen on this one. Why aren't you guys on social media? Like, what are you doing? Like, seriously, let me give you a low-hanging fruit. How do you guys not have Yelp ads? Like, how do you not even have a Yelp review? Oh, I got Zillow. That'll do it for me. Really? That's what you think? I'll say it to anyone listening right now. Type in your name and the word realtor or investor on Google search and look at your top 10. That's it. It's just that simple. If I type in David Bartels, I don't even need to add extra words. I know what I'm going to get with David. In fact, I'm going to do it for everybody to understand, David, while you talk about your social media campaigns.
Oh, well, please don't.
No, seriously. Number 1, help you sell right at the top. Number 2, David's Facebook profile. Number 3, arealtor.com. Number 4 is Zillow. Number 5, America's top 100 real estate agents.
All right, well, nobody can see your screen, by the way.
I know. I'm not showing it. I'm just reading them. Everybody can Google it.
Yeah,
but the reality is, at the very top of the page, David, is David Bartels, help you sell full service.com, followed right by Facebook. So for you people not to be on Facebook and to not understand what I'm telling you, you're nuts. You literally, it's painful to me because Facebook is still the number 5 platform. Stop telling me about LinkedIn. Stop telling me about Twitter. Stop trying to convince me of other sources. It's Facebook for real estate, period. I'll go to my grave saying it until something bigger than Facebook shows up. It's not LinkedIn. It's not Twitter. It's not even Instagram. Oh, we want millennials. Good for you. You're wrong. It's Facebook. It's always going to be Facebook. It's the largest single platform that will let you produce content of multiple shapes and sizes. Again, don't believe me? Go follow David Bartels on Facebook. How important is your social media campaign, David?
Well, don't be a secret agent. And one of the ways that you let people know that you're in the real estate, that you're a real estate agent is Facebook. And think about this: if 1 in 95 adults has a real estate license in California and they have 500 California friends, well, 5 of them are real estate agents. And if you're not communicating that you are, and maybe and kind of patting yourself on the back a little bit with some just listed and just solds and some commentary here once in a while, and you're not going to be the one they pick when they need it. There's a very good chance that the agent they pick is a Facebook friend of theirs, and they are not going to pick you if you're not engaged.
Yep, I agree. Recently, people have been noticing, Lee, you're posting inspirational stuff. You're very particular about what you're posting in your story and about you. I said, yeah, it's my business presence. What are you guys kidding? I mean, it's not stuff I don't disbelieve in, but the reality is now I'm meeting people and I got to put my name on contracts. And to go back to Barbara's original question, what are you? I'm going to be a guy they Google, right? I don't want them to find LeeHonish, the guy who fought Danny Bonaducci in 2007. I want them to find LeeHonish, this engaging and exciting person who really believes in helping people. So if you're not creating that business image or that, and it's not fake, to go back to what Donald said a couple of weeks ago. Is it real? It has to be real. In this day and age, I'm telling you, the Ferries, Proctor, name it, Michael Hellickson, everybody's changing their teaching style to make sure people are connecting and engaging because scripts don't work. And if you believe that for 2020, you're in all kinds of trouble. You literally are. There is no script. There is no program. There is no special identifier. I'm shot out of a cannon today, David. Too much coffee. I've just been studying it all, right? Because I want deals just like you do, right? I've got business partners in the loan field. I got business partners in the real estate deal, right? My life has changed. All of you know this, right? So how do I hustle and literally create a real estate business on the fly? And the reality, go and do it. Oh, by the way, Steven Guzman, really, you got to drop the end, Steve. It's killing me that you go by Steven Guzman. Says to David Bartels, I have a short sale negotiation for David. How do I get a hold of him? I'm not even making that up.
I'll drive down and get it.
Give out that info.
David at HomeLoanAdvocates.com. David at HomeLoanAdvocates.com. Stephen, you call me 805-379-300.
Don't encourage the Stephen. Do not.
Stephen, I'll call you Steve. Stephen, I'll call you anything you want.
Oh my God. God bless you, Steve. So with that said, David, that really brings up the last thing for the year, right? And I've been talking to my 5-degree, really expensive therapist on this topic for all of you who are in the coaching group. Everybody that I've talked to, and I recently went to a massive EXP event. I met the CEO, CIO, head of education, and after I left the event, I was really kind of not happy because I didn't think education was their focus. I'm going to be honest. For all of you that are EXP, I'm not going to lie to you. It's what I think right now. And David knows this. We've had a meeting about this. I don't think education is their focus. And so when you talk to people about education, and I'll drop names because I know who in the coaching group are really big brokers like David, Mike Bjorkman, Elgin Walker, Kevin Kaufman, Fred Weaver, like people with literally 200 or 300 agents, David. They always look at me and they go, it's about being lazy. So I brought it up to a therapist. So I kind of want to finish here because you're a very motivated guy every day when you wake up, David. You are very positive. You're very focused. You have a strong spiritual aspect to you. I'm very jealous of it, in fact. The reality is everybody says this to me. What about the lazy agents? They're not lazy. People aren't lazy. It's not a thing. So I brought it up to my therapist. I spent an hour on the topic. Why are people lazy? And at the end of the day, it's fear. It's either fear of success, fear of failure, fear of whatever. How do you, right? You've told your story a million times. How do you conquer that fear so lazy doesn't take over, where you're spending 5 hours on Facebook and look at the end of your day, oh, I got distracted by literally cleaning my house, or I did this instead, or I did that instead. How do you personally, for you, how do you keep yourself motivated? Because it's a thing. This is a real thing for all of you.
How do I do it?
Yeah.
Well, I am so laser focused on my objectives. You know, I don't even know how to do it. I don't know. I require very little motivation to motivate myself to do what I got to do. So I'm task oriented. I have a handful of things I need to get accomplished every single day, and I'm just trying to move my agenda, you know, go a little deeper with a very strong long-term vision that I have. And I would say that a lot of my motivation really comes from a very strong desire to properly and effectively provide for my family and my future as I get older and I start to have some health challenges here and there. That I'm very cognizant of the need to be self-sustaining and to be able to support myself even when I'm not able to do this work. And so I don't want to waste any days. I need every single one of them. And I'm trying to create a world that allows me to live comfortably even when I can't work the kind of hours or with the same kind of intensity I'm able to do right now.
Amen. I mean, I'm with you, right? I can tell this to you all personally, and I know a few people on the call know this about me, right? David knows this. Literally in the last 60 days, it is no joke. Relationship trouble, family trouble, daughter trouble, personal health issues. I've stopped eating. You know what kept me going? Getting up and prospecting, going up and looking at lease properties, doing things that I did in the 90s. Your only excuse is your excuse. David, how do people get a hold of you?
Well, David at HomeLoanAdvocates.com, David at HomeLoanAdvocates.com, or 805-413-8000, 805-413-8000. Thanks very much. Talk to you soon.
And I will say this for me. Stop being stuck. Stop obsessing. Just stop, okay? I'm going to give you my cell phone. It's 858-663-2537. I have kind of dedicated myself to figuring out how to help 100 people before the end of the year. That's crazy, by the way. I'm not even sure I can do it, but I want to try. I'm getting emotional. Go ahead and give me a call, 858-663-2537. Legitimately, I want to help you have a better 2020. So does David. Join our group or not. Just text me or call me so that we can help you. The biggest mistake you're going to make is doing nothing. Everybody have a great rest of the year.